Okay, so little overview. This is your intake cam. This is your exhaust cam. Well, intake rockers, exhaust rockers. This is your Jake brake solenoid. There's one on this end. There's one on the other end. And I grabbed the wrong size of Torx. I believe it's T25, and I grabbed a T27. Yep. And there's quite a few of these to remove. There's actually 4 on each injector. There's a hole down there that we need to get loose. I believe those are 5mm Allen wrenches there. He's gotten 1.7 million on this thing and never really touched it, he said, other than emissions problems. Okay, somebody's already been into it one time or another. They've got paint marks here. I don't know why they put paint marks on these, but I'll show you here. So this plate here has got 2 lines on it, and it'll bolt down to the cam housing. Let's see, right there. I think. All right, okay. Or am I on the wrong? Wait a second. Yeah, it's these 2 holes here. This tool's made for both the later engines. There's 2. Come on, work with me here. What are we doing? Oh, that's right, that's right. I'm on the wrong one, that's why. And I'm a little bit off. I gotta go a little bit further to line up that yellow mark with that line. And then you'll see down here the slots in the cam, and there's 2 holes down there too that you've got to get lined up, which we're not 100% really too worried about that right now. We can get the rockers loose and then ensure that we're in number 1 top dead center. We'll go just a little bit further with our ratchet here. I got the turning tool on the bell housing. Just need to go a little bit further. Line those 2 marks up best we can. And went a little bit too far. Yeah, went a little too far. But you'll notice that your intake and exhaust valves are loose there. These all should be tight. Detroit uses valve overlap. So we're on number 1 top dead center. But I need to go back just a touch the other way. Probably good enough. Now where are we? I mean, we're dead on now. We are dead on the marks. Okay, so the tone wheel is attached to the intake cam, where this sensor right here reads off that intake cam. So I've had to, when I had these cams out, I've had to take the tone wheel off and then find the mark and then mark it with a paint marker, just like somebody already did. So on these Detroits, pretty imperative to back all of your rockers off. Get them all loose. before you start undoing. The service manual tells you to take these out a half a turn at a time. They don't want you breaking a rocker shaft with all the spring tension on the rockers is what they're trying to prevent. But now that we know we're on number 1 top dead center, I got to get the 6mm Allen which is underneath the truck, because the little plate that holds the where the gear goes on there for the turning tool. Another thing, underneath, right above, on the ring gear, not on the ring gear, on the flywheel, it's got the little flats and notches in it, and the little flats and notches read off the tone. It's basically a tone wheel for the speed sensor there. Well, there's a little dot in the middle of one of those flats, and that that also will be lined up. And to even double check yourself, you can pull the speed sensor out of the bell housing, and that one pin I showed you, that pin will go in there. I just back these off. Let's make this go a little quicker, huh? Find my little air ratchet. Kind of get this moving along a little quicker. I'm gonna pull this extension off of here. Don't need that on there. That one had quite a bit of tension on it. Okay, all those are loose. Okay. still got some tension on this one here. I found that on these, if you back them all the way off, the intake cam's a little easier to deal with than the exhaust cam, because exhaust cam has got everything for the jakes on it. First one of these I ever tore apart, I couldn't believe the difference between an ISX, how big the cams are in an ISX, versus how small these are in these Detroits. These are puny little cams. It's almost like a cam in a Toyota or something. But they work. Okay. What are we doing here? Come on, work with me. Maybe I'll just pull them all out. I was trying to keep them all together, but it doesn't seem to want to. There's my ring on my renter. It's probably running around there cleaning up around the house, or the goats are walking around in front of the house. Who knows? Now, these bolts kind of keep the spacing. I'm going to throw them in there. That way, if I'm packing this thing over there to set it down, the rockers don't slide off the end of the shaft. So I throw the bolts in there. Little cam bushings or bearings or whatever you want to call them are on there too, and that kind of helps space. The bolts actually space everything out, kind of. I mean, the cam rollers and everything look really, really good on it. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got here? So you're going to have some 10mm headed bolts, 12 point, in the middle here. We can get all those loose. I'm going to go ahead and pull my plate off back here. Basically just don't rotate the engine. Leave it where it's at. Okay, so all those are loose. I'll zip all these off. got to get all the cam caps off. Okay. And there's a special tool for these two, but I actually have it, but it's easier just to take a bar there, usually, anyway. Might prove me. This one I'm recording, so it'll prove to me that I'm a liar, so. Already had this one loose. I also don't fall back down there and have to mess around with it to get it back off. Try to be careful with your cam lobes and stuff when you're doing that. Okay, cams. Get the cams out of it now. Ah. Well. Okay. There's one of them. That'll be the intake. This darn drum rolling on me is going to make it wind up kicking my teeth in here in a little bit. Okay. Now we got exhaust cam. Okay, we got 2 bolts in the back. Right back. Where were they? I don't remember now. No, that must have been added or something on the newer ones. Okay, I don't see them on this one because the last one I did was a 2014. It had 2 bolts back here on it. I do not see those on this one. So I can get a bar up underneath this thing somewhere to pry on it and get it popped loose. It should be where we're at now. Is removing the problem child. Trying to find somewhere to stand. There it is, okay. This is the leaker right here. Does this one have the bolt in the back? Okay, I forgot. There's a Torx head bolt that holds this blow-by tube in the back. We got to reach back there and get it loose, and then we can pull it off. Yeah, it's just corroded up or something. Okay. Let's get this thing off of here eventually. That's another thing I'm gonna have to do is before I put it back together, I gotta take, well, I gotta go into, I'm gonna go into Harbor Freight today. That's where I bought that pressure washer from. Let's see if they got a hose for it, since I got it up against the exhaust on it and melted a hole through it. That's why I didn't wash this thing, because I went to wash it and then I realized that I forgot to get one. Okay. Try to be careful with the studs on the electrical studs on the injectors. And not bend one of them over. setting this on it while you're trying to climb around here to get it off, because I'm by myself, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to stand at here, get a hold of it. Man, there's just nowhere to go here, nowhere to go. Okay, finally, we got down to what we need to fix. This is a pretty common problem on these Detroits, is this cam housing leaking. As you can see, this gasket here, there's a recess in the cover, but this one's so hard and brittle. See, it's stuck to that. Yeah. And also, while you're here, I got a seal. The drive gear that drives the cams is right here, and there's a 2-bolt plate right here on the back of the head. Pop that plate off while you got this cam housing off, and put that new seal on there, that O-ring, and then put it back in there. Very wise to do that. So, anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this one for right now. I'm gonna eat some lunch and let the pups outside and let them run around and be monkeys. And also there's O-rings where the feed tubes go into the injectors. Change these O-rings too while you're here. Very, very wise to do that as well. So, but here's the seal where it goes in to the cam housing right here in this recess. So we got to dig all that out of there and put a new seal in it, but we got to wash this off, and I don't know how we're going to clean this. Might have to do it Pakistani trucker style there, and get like a solvent blower or something and a scraper and try to get this cleaned up. Pretty bad. Look at that. Look at that shit. He'll probably light weigh out about 500 pounds less, huh? Yeah. Okay, well, got a lot of cleanup to do. You got to get all these remnants of this water manifold gasket off the head, and a lot of cleanup to do here.